What on earth are you doing now, Daddy?
No clickbait on this channel. I will be getting an axe to these shoes. And I do keep my axes very sharp. And if you're very good and hang around till the end, I'll tell you a little bit about my boot and shoe obsession. I was recently contacted by Indestructible shoes, and they asked me to choose a pair, and they'd send them to me with the challenge that I try and destroy them. So these are the ones I chose. They're the from the Battlefield collection, and I got the blue camo. Just fancied something a bit funkier, a bit different, sort of urban camo. And yeah, nice trainers, but they're also steel-toed. And I'm really excited to see how I get on trying to destroy these. They're meant to be incredibly tough. They've got, as I said, the steel toe, there's Kevlar built into them, and they're meant to be able to withstand quite a lot of abuse, but at the same time very comfortable. They've got very nice spongy insoles. They've got this one piece woven design for the top, minimising joints and things, you know, seams. So yeah, very keen to see how we get on with these. I'll be putting them through all sorts of tests. Some of them not very safe, so don't try it at home. They're certainly very, very comfortable, and I really like the design. Now, I've got so many of these to choose from on their website, and I'll be giving you a discount code, and if you use that you get 20% off. And they deliver pretty much worldwide, I believe. I mean, nothing's indestructible. I know I'm going to destroy them, but it'd just be good to see how tough they are. We'll, as I say, get the axe to them and a few other menacing ideas. I wear safety shoes and boots a lot because I'm in my workshop and I'm a bit clumsy and I do drop things on my feet, and it's quite nice to have a pair of shoes which are light and comfortable but still have a steel toe, and these do seem to fit the bill. They're not the lightest of trainers, they're not as light as my Skechers, but they do have a steel toe and a much more substantial sole on them. So, you know, but they are still very light for what they are, and they should breathe a lot better. It should be much better for when I'm doing the show days like Makers Central and the Yandle show, where you're on your feet for hours and hours. So they should be very good. The usual ones I wear, I've got these boots. These are steel, but they're a lot heavier, and they're also a bit more insulated, these ones are, and a bit thicker, so they probably offer a little bit more protection to your ankles and the tops of your foot, but they're a lot heavier and a lot warmer. I get a bit hot wearing these. And here's another pair of my safety boots. These are steel, and they've got a steel shank. Very, very tough boots, but you would not want to be wearing those all day at a show. As promised, a little bit of axe work. We've got my Halter Falls axe, and I'm just giving these a damn good chop. Then it's out with the Dremel using a cut-off disc, so I've got to have a few sparks. Then we're going to put some acetone on, see how solvent resistant they are. Time for a bit of fire. Propane gas torch. This one goes up well because it's still got acetone all over it. I think the neighbours thought I was going a bit mad at this point. Yeah, I think I better put that out now. Last bit of chopping with my now blunt axe. And of course, got to have a bit of slow-mo. Let's see what a 1-ton arbor press will do. And of course, onto the belt sander or linisher. Few stab tests, then we're done. Oh, go on then, let's have a bit more fire. Well, that was fun. Goes against all my natural instincts, really. I'm a creator, not a destroyer, and I like shoes, and I don't want to be destroying them. But they challenged me, so that's what I did to them. I'm going to have to save these for sort of Sunday best or formal occasions, I think. Black tie dinners and the like. That'd be very good for that now. But they, obviously fire is the great leveller. That they burnt easily, but they were surprisingly tough. The axe chopped through the fibres, but the axe was incredibly sharp, and I was putting a lot of force behind it. But if you were using the blade and trying to cut the material, it wouldn't cut. It wouldn't go through. It's really cut resistant. So from that point of view, fantastic abrasion resistance. They're very comfortable as well. I thought I wouldn't wear them for the tests. I thought I'd take them off for the tests. The steel toe, good solid steel toe. That was a 1 ton arbor press I used on there, and it just squashed it down slightly. You can still get your toes in. It just, I was putting all my force behind that. I was in danger of breaking the arbor press. It was 1 ton arbor press, and that's just depressed it a fraction. The sanding machine, that obviously sanded through because it's quite an aggressive belt sander, that. But where I was using the sanding machine on the material here, it hasn't worn through. It's very abrasion resistant. They do all different models made of different materials. Some are sort of almost like mesh, let sand through and breathe and everything. But these, I'm impressed with the design. I think they're great. Also, really puncture resistant. They've put something under the insole. There's some sort of barrier, whether it's Kevlar or something, I'm not sure. But I was putting my full weight on my scratch awl, and I couldn't push it through that barrier. I'm sure if I'd hammered it or used a nail gun I could have got it to go through, but for general everyday protection, really good. There we are. Nothing's indestructible except possibly some sort of subatomic particles, but I'm no physicist, I couldn't tell you. But I had fun doing it, even if it did go against all my natural instincts. Anyway, got more creative stuff coming soon. I've got a couple of projects on the go, but it's just getting some workshop time to get them completed. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit of fun. And if you just hang on a bit longer, we'll have a look at my retro shoe collection. Another one of my obsessions is shoes and boots. I love certain styles of shoe and boot. I was born in the 60s and grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and it was the heyday of the Dr. Martens, really. I've always been heavily into ska music and, you know, two-tone and punk, and it was the fashion, and still is. So I've got a collection of shoes from that era, really. They are still made, you can still get them. There's a shop in Camden Town in London called the British Boot Company. It's been there forever. And you can go in there and they still have all the original styles. But you know, we'll start with Dr. Martens. Which everyone's heard of. These are made in England Dr. Martens in the oxblood colour, which was really a firm favourite back in the late 70s and early 80s. And yeah, traditionally worn, highly polished. But these are much higher quality than the sort of Far Eastern ones that you see a lot in the shops these days. But another similar boot. These are solovairs. Another made in England boot, and in fact Solovair are the factory that actually made most of the Dr. Martens in their heyday. They're opposite them in Northamptonshire. They're down the same road, and Solovair were the main manufacturer of Dr. Martens until they shifted their manufacturing overseas. They've shifted some of it back into England now and are producing the Made in England range, but Solovair have carried on making air cushioned boots right the way through. So these are proper made in England, and in fact this sort of leather and the hardness of the soles and everything is much more like how I remember the original Dr. Martens to be back in the 80s. And of course back then Dr. Martens were cheap, they weren't expensive boots. As Alexei Sale sung in his song 1999, yeah, £19.99. £20 for a pair of Dr. Martens, and in fact I had a pair of steel toe cap Dr. Martens very similar to this with the plain welt. They're still Goodyear stitched and everything, but hidden stitch, and I had a pair very much like this with steel toe caps, and they would have been the Dr. Martens that were made by Solovair, and I bought those in the 80s for a tenner, £10, and they lasted me years. There you go, a little bit of history as well. So they're a bit of a classic style. These are the Blackburns, and they've got quite a big bulbous toe on these. They're nice quality boots. Put those to one side, and then we come on to the shoes. These might look a bit like Dr. Martens at first glance, but these are another one of the original made in England with an air cushion sole as well. And these are loake, made by Loake, and these are in this sort of burgundy colour. Very hard wearing, beautiful quality loake are, and I do like my lokes. the loake brogue in that classic sort of 70s 80s look with a nice thick sole. And these are the loake royal brogue, nice chunky brogue, which is what I like. And final pair of loakes, classic two-tone shoes really, scar shoes, and these are the loake original Brighton loafer, the original loafer, and you can buy these with the air cushion soles or with leather soles. But there you go, that's an original style. Another pair of Dr. Martin, made in England. These are what you call a 3-hole Gibson. These have had a lot of wear, and yeah, a classic design. These shoes can't really go out of fashion because they're just a classic design. They're a retro look, and it's a look I like. And I wear them to work every day, and my boots and things come out for special occasions. Going to go and see ska bands like Madness, probably my favourite band, and in fact later this week we're off to see the Selector, another favourite of mine. Another recent project of mine was these custom made shoe trees, or shoe stretchers really. I wish I'd made a video of these because they've come out very well and they work really well, but I thought it was a bit boring really. But in effect what I did was carved a last of my foot, you know, what they call a shoemaker's last, and then I cut a section out the middle. These are done in ash, and I've put a big threaded bar through here, and you can actually expand, once you've got these in, you can expand it out. It's good to store shoes on trees if you can, or on stretchers, and it helps with the polishing. But I've got rather awkward size and shape feet. They're very wide here, and so ordinary shoe stretchers don't really do the job, you know, if I need to just push the outer out a little bit, you know. It's whereas these are exactly the same proportions as my feet. But I wish I'd made a video because they have come out very well, and it would have actually been quite a good project to show. I'm also a big fan of some of the Timberland boots. Not the classic Timberland that everyone wears. They're a bit narrow fitting for me, but some of the others, like these, I love these boots. They're waterproof and very, very comfortable. Lovely soft leather and a nice broad fitting, and yeah, I could wear these for hours and traipse about, and they're just so comfortable. And I've got another pair of Timberland, the Chucker style boot, and these are another pair of some of my most comfortable boots or shoes. Really good. They're waterproof too. I've got so many shoes and boots. I've got shoes and boots for just about everything. That just gives you a little insight into what I like. And I quite enjoy polishing them as well. I know it's a bit sad, but it's something very satisfying about polishing up shoes. They do need a little bit of a buff up, and they're quite shiny, but I prefer them a bit shinier than that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that video, and I'll be back soon with some more videos. Don't forget, there's a discount code for Indestructible shoes. You get 20% off if you use it, and it's a special discount code linked to me, and I'll put it in the description. So copy and paste that into the checkout and you get 20% off. I don't know if you've heard, but Makers Central 2020 has been announced. It's on the 2nd and 3rd of May at the NEC in Birmingham here in the UK. So get onto the website, I'll put links in the description, and get yourself some tickets. And check out that discount code for Indestructible shoes while you're at it.
Please like, share and subscribe. My daddy needs all the help he can get. More rubbish coming soon.
Many thanks for watching. Bit of fun this video, and some of you might find it interesting. And I'll be back soon with some more creative stuff. I've got a leatherwork project coming up, which some of you might like. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I will be occasionally selling pieces on Etsy. There should be links to these on my channel homepage, and there should also be some links in the video description. Check out links to Indestructible shoes, Makers Central and the British Boot Company.